have, they gave. And what struck me at that story was the engineers at that time, the constructors of the tabernacle went to Moses and said, they've given too much. It's enough. Tell them to stop giving. Every time I read the story, I say, what? In these days, can we have our engineers, our pastors telling us, you've given too much to this work of the Lord? Stop giving. You know? And that is actually what happened. And so the engineers, the builders went to Moses and said, the children of Israel have given too much. They have exceeded what we needed to construct and build the tabernacles. This is one of my favorite stories in the Bible. And Moses actually had to restrain them and say, stop giving. We have the GCM building that is out there being built. I don't know the estimate. I'm sure Mr. Taylor will tell us. And at one point, will he tell us, okay, stop giving. I had enough of, of all that I need to build that house. And by now, the building will have been finished. So I go to my second favorite story of giving in the Bible, and that is the simple story of a poor widow. You all know that widow story. Everybody was in the church giving and giving. Maybe some were showing off even. That, okay, maybe I have thousands of dollars. I just drop it out there in front of the church. This poor widow had only 2 cents, 2 pennies. The Bible calls it 2 coins. Okay? So those 2 coins were equivalent to 2 cents. But that is all she had, all. The emphasis is on all. She had just those 2 coins to live on. You know, in those days, the widows are the poorest of the poor. They are very poor. They have nothing. They live just by the mercy of maybe the dead husband's relative or whoever have mercy on them to give them food. That is all she had to live on. She gave it all quietly. But Jesus noticed her giving that all and commended her. Because she did what? She gave her all. And God provided for her. They didn't tell us that the widow went home and died, or that she didn't have food to eat, or she just collapsed. So that is the second challenge. And the last challenge I have for you is actually another interesting one in the Bible. You know, Jesus, when he was giving out that his short ministry, he would go into the house of Mary and Martha. He even raised their brother Lazarus from death. You can get that story in the book of John, okay? John 5:3. Oh, let me see which part of the John, so I don't give you wrong. It's John 12:3. John 12:3. And Mary gave this expensive, very expensive perfume. Broke it and just put it on the feet of Jesus and wiped the perfume with her hair. And the whole room, they were having dinner. The whole room was full of the perfume and some people were criticizing her. You know who was the chief critic officer? Judas Iscariot. He said, oh, but there are so many poor people here. Maybe that perfume should have been sold and given to the poor. But you know what Jesus said? The poor you will always have with you. And for you to give, you don't have to be very rich. You don't have to be a millionaire. Just give at the point where you are. It's right there. Mary gave her most expensive gift. They said the perfume at that time cost 300 denarii, which is 1 year's salary, 1 whole year's salary. And can you imagine? For me, I love perfumes. And the more good, the better the perfume, the more expensive it is. For the perfume to cost 1 year's salary in those days, do you know how much it will cost now? And she just wasted and put it right there at Jesus' feet, and everybody enjoyed the perfume. And Jesus said, she is preparing for my death. And everywhere where the gospel is preached, her name will be mentioned. So it's an instruction for each one of us to give. For me, it's an opportunity, because the more you give, the more God blesses you. People think that I give because I have so much. They even think, she got too much, she just giving. But you don't have to be rich to give. You don't have to be a millionaire to give. You can even be a student. You give just what you have. God is not asking you to go and steal to give. He's asking you to give yourself first. You give as a means of worship. You give as a means of saying thank you to God. You give because you love God, not to show off what you are giving. So I have so many examples, but I will stop with these 3 stories, and to say that when Sister Jemseta Wolokoli asked me to be a partner, she's a sister, I didn't hesitate several years ago. And I was giving what I thought I had at the time. But after a while, I realized that what I was giving was really very little. What can it do to this family of the director then, and his wife, and his children? So I doubled what I was giving. And God has been blessing me and blessing me and blessing me and blessing me. And after that, we were at a meeting and they were talking about, we need money to buy the pillars, the this, the that. And I became a life partner. And God has really proved himself worthy in my own life. So I want to challenge you that being a life partner is an opportunity that I can even be part of being of service to him, and also being part to let others know this Lord Jesus Christ, and to know God, and to have a time to have their own personal relationship with him. So it's an opportunity. And if we don't do it, God can even raise up stones to worship him. So it's a challenge, but it's an opportunity, because the more you give, the more God gives to you, and you cannot beat God's giving, just as the song says. So every one of you have this little card in front of you. You